Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 202, and today we're going to be doing battle with Ezreal Seraphine. And so, go ahead and take a peek at that list, give it a good look over before you really decide what you're about to get yourself into for the day. I figure probably about 15 seconds in, we're going to lose half the viewers here as they realize we're not playing the full-on and actual Ezreal Seraphine. But we are bringing the burn, and this does bring forth a couple of interesting concepts. The first one is just kind of being aware of the meta, right? If you follow around some of the top players in the game, you can see what they're currently using on the various deck tracking sites. And so you can see the last 20 matches the people have played. Typically have to be in kind of like Diamond Plus for them to turn up, but it's there. You can click around on some of your favorites, see what they're most recently playing, and get kind of current in terms of the meta, to where the meta sites tend to be 3 to 4 days, maybe a week behind, and then that takes even longer to push itself forward in terms of making its way into the lower ranks of ladder. And so, if you are looking to get ahead of the meta at wherever you're at, that's a decent place to go. And the reason this comes up is if you go and look at Riot Ruben Zoo's match history. You're going to see Ezreal Seraphine in there. At least at the time I'm recording this. He might get some more games in before this is out. But, that's a kind of interesting place to look. I recommend following Riot Ruben Zoo kind of all over the place. His Twitter is wonderful and delightful, full of many memes, and he's a full-time balanced developer, moonlighting as a serious memer, and so he has a seriously high quality Twitter feed. But again, Ezreal Seraphine was at the top of his ranked playlist, and so it's kind of interesting, right? This is the deck we ran into this issue a little bit in our previous video, going up against Annie Elise, to where you don't know if you're playing against a really aggressive Annie Elise, or you don't know if you're playing against the control deck version of Annie Elise, and so you basically have to mulligan. Assuming that you're playing against the aggro version. And then if they turn out to be playing the control version, you might just be sitting around on a bunch of dead removal spells and not having a very optimal hand. The same kind of thing applies here. We expect our opponents to mulligan, getting into some kind of big major grind fest, and then we're going to just not be playing the control deck whatsoever. And so we're hoping to really catch our opponents off guard and take advantage of this really aggressive deck list as our opponent looks at it and says, "Oh yeah, that's got to be a control deck. We're going to be here for 15 minutes with this one," and that's not going to be the case whatsoever. And so this is what we're doing battle with today. Let's head on in. I checked to see if we pay the pay-to-win price, and it is fully paid. Everything in here is all premium, except Seraphine and Ezreal, but all the other cards are definitely in premium land. You shouldn't be too surprised that the burn cards are turning up premium out here. All right, let's see if we can't get ED helicopter here and boom him with a little burn, surprise him out of nowhere. All right, reasonable enough start. We got a couple of ones. We'll get rid of Ezreal. He's just going to be too slow. We're not looking to actually play Ezreal or Seraphine and get a nice aggressive curve coming out here. The thing to watch out for against against Twisted Fate Swain is they're going to be playing a bunch of AoEs. They have Twisted Fate himself, then they're going to have Make It Rains, and so we have to worry a little bit about this double Precious Pet opener getting 2-for-1 in the early game, but hopefully the Boom Crew rookies will help carry us through that.
Of course I'm ready.
There it is. Say, not my first rodeo, bro. So let's see what we pick up. We definitely want to spend 3 mana on units this turn, and we'll definitely get more damage in just going with the 3 1-drops. So there is a slight sequencing issue here in terms of the Mana Soul student and the having the Saboteur and the Boom Crew rookie, but we just have maximum damage going for the triple set of 1s. Okay. Getting close, getting close. Got him down to 11.
Gotta go with the flow.
Got to worry about a second Make It Rain now. Heavy metal's fine. Whoa, that's a horrible attack. Don't be doing this, right? This is one of these spaces as to where you have to ask yourself, can I get a fully wide board where my opponent cannot? If you're saying that from the defensive standpoint, from the Swain standpoint, and he can't, right? There's a extremely good possibility that we come out on this turn and just have 6 units on the board, as to where he's going to say, like, play a Swain, or he's going to play a Twisted Fate. He's only going to be getting 1 more unit on the board, and we can most certainly come in and take advantage of this. And so with this, the downside for us, at least, is we only have the Cask Salesman as the additional unit that we can get on board. I think he's still going to be the one that we prefer. So we'd be getting in 3 damage from the Saboteur, 6 with the Rookie, 8 with the Cask Salesman, and then we have to start just Ballistic Botting. I think that's okay. Seems better than just like slamming the Ballistic Bot down and then having it get blocked by one of his bigger units, or just kind of ignored.
Know your place.
But, right, you see what I'm talking about with this board. If he didn't attack with that Arachnoid Horror, then he could have used it to, say, block something this turn. It would have limited the number of casks that we could put on the board. Just all around a better board position for opponent if you don't make that trade. But looking pretty good here with this one. Zap coming in is fine. He's going to have to answer this Ballistic Bot and then have an answer to the Grenadier that doesn't involve him dying. And so I think we'll be in a pretty good space. Lots of fun and interactivity coming directly at our opponent. Makes my day. I love to get to feature our boy Legion Rearguard. Let's get him in full view. Look at that axe and stuff. Look at that. Good friend. Good friend right there. All right. GG. Got him. This is officially our Seraphine video. I felt so bad. Out of the last set, out of the last patch, we didn't manage to put together a video for Ornn. It was just such a shitty meta for Ornn. We didn't get around to doing it, and I felt kind of compelled to put together a Seraphine video for this patch. I just couldn't do it. I tried to play like a variety of Seraphine decks on day like 2 or 3 of the meta, and I was just like, no, this isn't for me. Like, I just physically couldn't do it. But then as I saw this, I was like, oh man, this is so perfect. This is so wonderful having a deck like this turn up. Makes me excited. So here, this is the space where I'm hoping that we're able to really capitalize, right? We're up against Nasus Kindred. This should be a pretty terrible matchup, right? The thing that we're hoping for, though, is that he's going to say, oh, cool, I'm playing against Ezreal Seraphine. I better mulligan away all these Vile Feasts, right? I can, like, hang on to Quietus, but, something like Vile Feast is just typically not going to be very good. And so you're hoping to just get those mulliganed away. Our big aggro friends get to hit the board unimpeded from the nastiness that is removal spells.
No one's the wiser.
All right, let's get the burn crew in here. Fading Icon's fine. So we do have the option next turn to say add a used Cask Salesman to the board. I'm not particularly excited about it this round. Uh-oh, people making these attacks again. This is a little bit different situation for us, given that these Legion Saboteurs have the ability to do attack damage. So I'm going to hold back on the attack here. Still looking to maybe get a Blade's Edge onto this Fading Icon. So we'll see. There's the opportunity for him to spend some mana here, not get to play 2 cards. Like if he plays a 3 mana card here, then we get the Blade's Edge and not have to worry about anything else coming down. The Undying, perfect. Level up that Ezreal, bro. Give me all those Ezreal level ups.
Behind you.
Looking good, looking good. Drop him down to 8. We got 5 burn in hand. Not a terrible spot to be in. Got to see if some of those withering whales are going to turn up.
First one's free.
Okay, so the casks should take him down to 6. See if he has any more plays. Like, I have to imagine that if your turn 3 play was that unit that can't block, and then you're following up with the the last winds, you probably don't have a ton going on in your hand. But we'll see. We'll see. Decimate. Yeah, I missed you so much, friend. What a delightful card.
Remember life well.
We'll look to save it. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't throw off a Nox and Fervor. Not expecting too much out of opponent here. If he has like a Drain or something, got to worry about it a little bit. Maybe we do just stall. I would prefer to see him like spend this mana before we go all in. Can do something like Rite of Negation, the Decimate, but doesn't have it. GG. Got him. I'm curious to see. I'm recording this video before patch day comes out. Yesterday should have been patch day. I'm curious to see if we get a round of balance changes given the prevalence of Seraphine in the meta right now. Just something like 30% of the meta. A lot of those decks are having 60% win rates over in some of the European professional leagues. Just like literally every single team is playing Seraphine. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see a little something happen.
No one's the wiser.
All right, let's get into a damage race here. I'm not really excited about this Annie. I don't feel like we can come in and block her, though. But we can lead with the Saboteur. This is our highest damage play starting on turn 1. Now that we picked up another 1-drop, we can look to just play all the ones this turn. They have some annoying cards here. Like, maybe we should have led with the Precious Pet. Because if he's going to have Stun Bird, we want the Stun Bird to hit one of our smaller units so that we can still attack with the Legion Rearguard. But I think we got a little lucky here with him having the Tusk Speaker. Just little lucky, you know, not big lucky. We're learning, making the best of it. All right, got him down to 11.
If you do not have a part to play, take
You wanna stun the rear guard? No, that's not your target of choice. Your target du jour, if you will. All right, so how are we gonna do this? He's down to 1 card at this point, so he can't have any more stuns. We're gonna need to block the stagehand, I think. What's he coming in here for? 3, 7, 8, 9? Maybe we don't. My thing is, like, on the next turn, I want to be open attacking. I don't want any more of our units getting shut down by stagehands. Let's do this. Let's add the Boom Crew Rookie. We can at least block Annie with a Boom Crew Rookie and not take the damage from her. Look to take, like, 7. Fall to 9.
I have my orders. This'll shake a
How good do we feel about that? Annie flipping here. She's still only doing the 2 damage shockwave, but I don't think I don't think we want to block her anymore. So this is like the most definite one happening with the Boom Crew rookie. What happens when we open next turn? Right, he's going to have 2 blockers. If he blocks our 2 bigs, he's taking 6. So we're definitely going to have to get more stuff on board.
Ready.
All right. Not excited about it. So with this, the Cask Salesman's actually a pretty good draw, giving us a bunch of blockers next turn. But here, I want to lead with the Grenadier. So if he comes down and stuns something, we can still hopefully get this 2 damage punch in with the Boom Crew rookie.
My first big mission. Just gonna put this here. Okay, ready.
All right, here comes the squad. So interesting space next turn, right? We're going to lose out on a couple of units, but we're going to be getting double blockers from the used Cask Salesman. He's also going to be dealing 2 damage to both players. So it's going to be interesting what turns up here. But as it stands, we look okay on this board. Can't play Tibbers till next turn. Then we just picked up a burn spell. How close to dead is this? Nowhere near. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool, right? Let's see. I want to see him spend some mana before we start dropping these Nox and Fervors. They typically don't have a bunch of burn spells in these decks, but it's worth watching out for. Sometimes they play Decimate, which is the worrisome one in this spot. He could pull out a tie. The Doom Beast is his last card. Oof. Oof, he's got it. He's got it. GG, my dude. Oof. I don't know if we... it's probably safe to say we didn't prevent every damage that game. And we could have gone for the double Nox and Fervor. We would have lost if we went for the double Nox and Fervor, though. I think he would have been able to cancel one of them with his own Nox and Fervor. That's tough. That's a tough matchup. GG, my friend. A lot of intricacies in those matchups people don't give them credit for. You don't get to make the 1,000 decisions you do with the normal Seraphine deck, but you could see from that matchup with my uncertainty in it and a lot of points of attack, a lot of interesting spaces in there. All right, Annie Jen up again. We got to find a 1-drop, so I'm just going to full mulligan everything. Found one. Not the idealist of Annie Jen based hands, but this is more like mid-rangey control decky stuff with these ballistic bots. But what's going on here? Did the game break? It's waiting. It's like I don't want to think that we're ever like the control deck in this matchup, but with hands like this, we have to kind of believe in it. It's unfortunate seeing the Annie come down. This is like I think part of the key in this match that we've seen is number one, we've been on the even attack both games, which just feels incredibly bad against Annie, and they've had Annie in both games as well, and so a couple points of awkwardness in there, but let's see what happens. Here I want to add the rookie. If he's got a stun unit, and I'm going to want to take it down. And then kind of the interesting thing here now with him adding the Tusk Speaker is he's going to get the block onto the Boom Crew rookie. We're going to get 2 for 1 out of this, but we don't have to take any overwhelm damage from the Tusk Speaker. So we're going to be preventing a little bit of the damage coming in. Right, if he wants to say like open attack here and we get to Blade's Edge, the Tusk Speaker, don't have to worry about that overwhelm.
Whoa, I can see the magic.
Okay. Ballistic Bot can block Annie. And the Jhin.
Help.
So many things. All right, where are we at now? Kind of a similar thing to that last turn, to where we can try and Blade's Edge down this Mana Soul student if he wants to get a little clever with it. But I'd prefer to wait until next turn to try and do that. But I don't think our attacks are great here. I'm going to attack with the Legion Rearguard. He's almost certainly going to block it, and I'm not really excited about just having a no-block unit on board. So it's like he has to do something about it. He's probably not going to just take 3. But these other attacks aren't any good now with Jhin on the board. Nice. All the ballistic bots. Victor would be proud. Nice stun onto the old. Oh, I guess our units getting stunned at this point are a little worrisome with Jhin on the board. At least it just hits rear guard. The extra stun onto ballistic bot's pretty brutal.
Everyone here is so cool. Whoa, I can see the magic.
All right, well, let's see where this gets us. I think it's unfortunate we're kind of just stuck on the burn plan now. He's built up too much board for us. These ballistic bots are just so slow in this kind of match. All right, that's just too much. All right, GG. But yeah, I'm really curious about that. It's interesting with Runeterra. It's one of the best games in the world. Well, you can put a period there. I love the game. But in terms of win rate on the play versus the draw, like it's always been a massive advantage in Magic to be on the play. And then even in Hearthstone, it was a pretty big advantage to be on the play. Not nearly as much as it was in Magic, but it was certainly noticeable. Like Runeterra's is just super close. I think there's even many more matchups to where being on the even attacks puts you at a slight advantage, which was a rarity in Magic. That would just have to be some kind of like really weird control matchup to where you would want to be drawing those cards. So it's kind of interesting it's like that. But what that was all cycling back to is with that Annie Jhin match, I think that they're probably a favorite, but I'm curious how it looks in terms of being on the play. I think the person on, the even attacks is probably in a huge, or the odd attacks is probably at a huge advantage there. And we had to deal with those turn 1 Annies every game. That was kind of unsatisfying. This hand is also kind of unsatisfying. Let's get the cask salesman in. We need to block this stuff this round. We have a decent open attack next turn, and our hand is just so burn heavy at this point. We don't have a lot of options. You really, you learn on day one of burn school that you want to be playing your units first, and then you want to be playing your spells in the end game. But just haven't had those opportunities here. Day one of burn school was one of my favorite days of college. you show up at burn school, that you learn that lightning bolt to the face on turn one is not an ideal play, and then you take it from there.
Fighting food and cooking evil. Switch those.
Everyone here is so cool.
Okay, gonna go ahead and drop a burn this turn so we get the extra damage out of the Mana Soul student. Dropping burns. So what we're going to need to watch for ourselves here is the Action Sivir deck has a reasonable number of ways to stop a Nox and Fervor. I still want to get the Nox and Fervor in here and see if we can't get a bit of damage to the face, but this does have some opportunity to get hit with like a single combat. So with the single combat in mind, I'm going to send the used cask salesman in. So if he wants to fight it with the dude, maybe we actually do it like this.
You break it, you buy it.
Well, he's going to want a single combat with the Thrall, but
That's so cool.
I don't want to be blocking the unit he's most likely to single combat with, right? That makes sense as to where if he wants to use the Dark Thrall on our cask salesman, that would be his worst one. All right. He spends the old Rite of Negation.
Cool. Spell inverse.
Did we do it, fam? Oh shit, a Golden Aegis, huh? Okay. I guess we're gonna do some blocking.
It's the living.
Are you new?
We'll send the Darkened Bloodletters back to his hand. If he wants to spend all of his mana playing a unit, by all means, play that unit. We got these other juicy treats lined up with, with the Decimate and the Get Excited.
Business as usual.
Alright, let's give it a go. Did we get him? Got him. Nice. And man, look at this. We're only a half hour into the video. Let's take this one up to the full 8. I forgot how nice that could be. You get to come out, you get to play 8 games and call it a day. these Seraphine decks turning around, you gotta stop at 5. Good stuff. But yeah, I'm curious if that patch hits today. See if I only played Expedition in the height of the Azir Irelia era, and I played Expedition in the height of the Fizz Twisted Fate era, and I feel like both of those garnered some nerfs pretty quickly. And but with the way that Riot works is they typically need 2 weeks to get. Ooh, this sucks. We don't have any ones. They need 2 weeks to get a patch up and running, and so they typically need to know, what nerfs they're going to make as soon as the cards are released. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a bit of leeway in terms of. It doesn't have to like exactly specifically be 2 weeks if they only have 1 week out. Maybe there's a thing, but it's not a Riot problem as much as it is a problem with the app stores. You got to have some lead up with approval time and stuff for the Apple Store. All right, so this is pretty bad. Gonna go ahead and be straightforward with you. Not having a 1-drop here into this full unit curve from opponent is not where we want to be. I'm gonna go ahead and Blade's Edge the Disciple off of the board. Just help minimize some of these blockers that they're able to put forth. And then, oh gosh, he's thinking about dropping the cultist combat trick. Interesting. Interesting, Nami. Still surprised we don't see more of Nami. I feel like she, the nerf shouldn't have been enough to shut her out of the format. I'm not sure how the Nami deck lines up against the big boys now, though. It's just another one of those decks in that range of things that we don't play. And so I'm curious if... it seems like if you want to stop and think about it, that if your opponent's going to try and like tumble you out of the game, that the Homecoming should be pretty good, right? I know that there's some additional angles in there like Rumble, but it's a spot I would think that Homecoming is decent. All right, let's see how they're able to react. You got a bunch of dumb cards in these decks like Double Troubles that can give us some issues. This should be a fairly decent matchup. Pirates always had a pretty good time up against Nami. Oh boy, nice nice generator there. That's certainly better than generating a jettison. But at any rate, with this board, I'm leaning towards dropping the Boom Crew Rookie after this attack instead of the Mana Soul Student. But maybe we just need to stay maximum efficient. It's like I don't really want to go into the next turn and be spending mana on units. I want to be open attacking. This feels like the last spot that we'll be able to get an attack in. Yeah, he still has that combat trick from before. We're not going to lose our unit. That's tough. All right, well, this is the kind of downside to not having that unit on the first turn. You miss out on typically 2 or 3 damage on the first turn, and then probably another 2 or 3 damage on the third turn. So we're, a good 4 to 6 damage short. If opponent was at, say, 11, you could more easily see ourselves burning him out with 8 damage of burn in hand plus a Boom Crew Rookie. But missing out on that one unit was just a fucking disaster.
Of course I'm ready.
Let's see what we can do. We should be chunking in here for 8. Surprised to see him not take the Mana Soul Student down instead of the Boom Crew Rookie. Okay. Alright, so we've got him to 10. We've got 4 burn in hand, 1 from the Mana Soul. Technically 1 more from the Mana Soul if we're going to get 1 next turn. We're kind of close. Not super close, but just kind of close.
Deal me in.
That's so cool.
Okay, let's not miss out on this damage. We'll go ahead and shoot a Mystic Shot at him. Could follow up with the Legion Grenadier now. Like, I want to get a block in with the Grenadier, I think. The idea with this is if we go into next turn and we're, like, counting on that 1 point of damage from the Grenadier and then opponent has a homecoming or something to just get it off the board, we're going to miss out on that point of damage. And then we're never dealing combat damage with this guy ever again. And so let's just go ahead and try and get that point in. While opponent can't really do anything about it. We've got him to 6. We need to pick up a decimate.
I have my order.
There's one. Get your damage in there, Legion Rearguard. That would let us draw a Nox and Fervor next turn as well. Although we're about to die to an open attack.
They'll never see me.
Their heartbeats quicken.
But right, this is again why I was really upset about not having that that turn 1 unit. It doesn't sound like much, but when you miss out on those multiple attacks with it, it really adds up into the pain. But GG. Alright, how sweet is this going to be if we play like a turn 1 Legion Rearguard and then opponent plays a turn 1 Legion Rearguard? This is going to be fucking choice. This is what life's all about. Alright, we want to lead in here with the Precious Pet. If opponent gets to drop a Seraphine next turn, I don't want our Legion Saboteur just getting blocked by the Seraphine. So we still have pretty decent attacks like this, right? If he plays Seraphine, he can't block the Precious Pet. He can block the Boom Crew Rookie, but he's still taking the air damage, to where the Saboteur is just getting a complete shutdown. Yep. What you got? Oh, he goes for a health one. Level up my Ezreal, bro. Get that blocker out of here.
Explosives primed.
All right, this is the last realistic attack we'll be getting this game. So let's go ahead and try to send the damage to face. We do miss out on like a lot of this ballistic bot work, but there's a very good chance that we may not have a unit as well. So kind of sucks for you. We're getting close to that burn space though. We got 4 from the Decimate, 3 from the Nox and Fervor. That's 7 for those of you keeping track at home. If we get to actually attack with the Boom Crew Rookie, that would be pretty sweet.
Everyone here is so cool.
Let's try this tempo.
Alright, no blocks. Aggro Seraphine coming at us.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
Okay. Who you gonna aftershock? Ballistic bot. You got it.
Don't mind me.
All right. Send a squad.
Gotta hear that one again. Oh, you sound great.
Want to go ahead and pop this off now. Again, they have lots of opportunities to cancel these Nox and Fervors, and so let's just go ahead and get that damage into the face. Game should be done. LOL. We have mastered the Ezreal Seraphine mirror. Feels good. Feels good. GG. All right, one more battle. Man, it feels good to get these 8 battles in. We even got like extra time with this one. It's just such a bummer. Like I feel like it's a loss for everyone when we have to play those like 10, 12, 15-minute matches. It's gotten a little bit better these days now that people are more familiar with the patterns and getting used to all the random cards in their hand and stuff. But man, to getting the patch, that was just abysmal. Just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I do love a lot of things about Marvel Snap. I haven't managed to get myself addicted to that one, but just the pacing that they've handled in it is spectacular. All right, same deal though. We want 1-drops. Managed to find one. Sounds good. And we'll see. I'm just hoping for it. I'm really hoping that China Cop 110 comes in, drops the Legion rearguard on the first turn. Says, hey, Bust, I know what life is all about. All about the aggro. Well, I thought we could get out of this one in under 15 minutes, but we got a lot of thinking going on right now. A lot to unpack. A lot to decide on. Or maybe a phone in the toilet. No. Just need the full timer on that mulligan. I gotcha. Very important match right now. You thought the pressure could be tense at something like Worlds. You know, you're playing the match to get yourself into the finals. That's probably fairly tense, but not as tense as playing against old FTP Bust with the potential that you could be on the old YouTube. And so, you know, I respect it. I respect the need to just rope every single turn here because there is a lot on the line right now. Now he says, "Oh fuck, it's a precious pet. I'm gonna need another rope to think on that one. Just, just let me soak it in, soak it up." It's tempting to switch to ballistic bots now. We can play the second ballistic bot next turn and then start leveling up, but it's too good of a chance. Like he either doesn't have a blocker here, or he just plays something like Reggie, where he has to trade away a dude on this turn. Seraphine's fine.
Doesn't have to rhyme.
She doesn't get the kill.
You sound great.
All right, so we'll bring in the bot. We can start doing the Mana Soul ignition damages now. I think that sounds good. Reasonable chance we do get to attack with the Mana Soul, so let's go ahead and just drop drop it. Don't want to be making the open attack here. And I think we want to leave the bot and the Mana Soul at home. Like, I want to play the Ignition just to make sure we get the Embers off. I don't want something weird to happen in the middle of combat to where he kills the Mana Soul before we get to play our slow spell. But I don't think I want to attack with those. It's just too many things that go wrong with like Ravenous Flock kind of removal spells.
Are you going to the show?
Sure. Oh, we drew our Seraphine. I'm ready. I'm ready to bring the randoms in. Get our double augments going. That's gonna be sweet. Gonna be sweet.
I can, help.
Too many colors.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
We're gonna get her to flip. We flip the Seraphine. We start dropping like double ignitions and stuff. That's what it's all about, isn't it? And Ezreal. Oh man. Oh man. So much going on with this one. Let's see how opponent responds to us making bigger ballistic bots. I don't feel excited about attacking with them, but ooh, I did just get a little bit more excited. That's probably not worthwhile, let's be real. We're just going to be trading into a barkeep.
Won't find better this side of the sun.
Alright, so this will drop opponent to 6. We've got the Nox and Fervor for 3, ideally. 2 more ignitions. Almost got him to the land of the lethal. Again, you got to be a little careful with these Nox and Fervors. You don't want the unit to just get burned down before it can get to face.
Words. What matters is how you feel.
Whoa, I can see the magic.
But he's down to 4 mana now. Makes me feel a little bit better about our potential to get the burn in. Battle bonds, okay. That's a thing. Seraphine's real close to flipping.
That was great. Now let's really bring it.
Goes for the Tellstones. I would assume he's going to pick up an Aftershock with this. It's enough to just kill all of our units? Jesus. All right. Enjoy.
Let's try one octave higher.
Doing those mathematics, bro. You got GG'd. Got him. So sweet. Not a bad set of games. Not a bad set of games. And so, you know, there are a couple of advantages to bringing the deck out like this. Ideally, you know, your opponent's going to come out and mulligan poorly. We don't know how the opponents chose to do it, but that's one of the things that we would just kind of expect them to do, right? You say, oh, I see Ezreal Seraphine coming at me. I don't want to hang on to my my early game removals, right? If you're playing the opposing end of this deck, then they can be like, oh yeah, let's go and pick up all of my value plays and not worry so much about my early game interactivity. And so it gives us a good way to just come in and boom through all of that. And we had a pretty successful run today. We finished up 5-3. 2 of our losses were to Annie Jen, and we managed to have a pretty strong game against everything else that we played. And so, you know, it's certainly a strategy to consider. And it's also a good deck for just, you know, grinding right up the ladder. If you have I don't know exactly how the time-based mathematics work, but you know, if it takes you 10 games to win with Seraphine, and you have like a 55% win rate, or if it takes you, you know, 6 minutes to win a game with the aggro deck, but you only have a 53% win rate, just the sheer amount of games that you can get in faster will most certainly make up for the lack of win rate there. And so it's definitely an edge if you're trying to just shoot up the ladder. But I thought this was great. It let us get Seraphine in the mix. We got to play with Legion Rearguard. We get to wait and see if the meta is going to shake up you know, a few hours from now if you watch this video as soon as it comes out. And it doesn't leave us in a spot to where we're at the potential end of the patch blues. And so that was fun. I had a good time with this. This was very refreshing. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video, because that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope you maybe learned how to boom your opponent a little bit better. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.